Hi there, it's Aprille Franks Hunt, the CEO of Women Recharge and the Master Coach and President of Coach Speak and Serve. And today I want to talk about women and our reproductive choices. And this is not a pro choice or a pro life conversation necessarily. This really is about just women in general making better decisions about the things that can ultimately, that not can ultimately, but do ultimately change the entire trajectory of our personal lives. I'm not even talking about business right now. And this was this topic is really something that's passionate to me. Many of you may know, and for those of you who just, maybe this is the first video you've ever seen of me, you know that I am adopted. I was a teen mom. I was a single mom for a long time. I have a daughter who I put up for adoption when I was 21 years old. And I've also had, and I've never publicly, I don't think I've publicly said this, but I've also had 3 abortions in my life. And I'm 39 years old, happily married. And those things have always been sitting in me to do something bigger with them. They've always been there, and I've always wanted to talk about them. And even in my book, Confessions of an Independent Woman, I kind of touch on some of those topics, but I don't really go that deep into them. But I want to. And so if you're still watching this video, then keep watching. And when you're done watching it, share it with a woman that you love. And I would just want to talk about, the power of our bodies and our emotional stability. A lot of times, and this is just from my own personal experience, when I was growing up, I had this whole, I don't know what men are about conversation in my head because of the men that I saw growing up. They were not nice to the women in their lives. So I didn't see, positive images of how a man is supposed to treat a woman, but I knew that somewhere it had to exist. And so that then led me to be, how I hate the phrase, searching for love in all the wrong places, but it's so true. It just had me kind of out there just doing stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean having sex with whoever, right? Whoever would pay me some attention, whoever that was. And I didn't even necessarily think I was that cute, when I was growing up, like in, high school. I just knew that I had body, and I knew that men like body. So I knew that if I wanted the attention, I knew what I had to do to get the attention, which it really didn't take much, right? But what that did was, and this is why the emotional piece of women is so important when we're not together. When we're not together, and I love to say this, we date our self-esteem. Period. All the time. We date our self-esteem. When we're broken inside or we're having some challenges, we make choices that are not good for us. And it shows up. It shows up in unplanned pregnancies. It shows up laying on the abortion table for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. It shows up in the delivery room. It shows up in the eviction notice. It shows up when you sleeping by yourself at night, crying yourself to sleep. It shows up in all kinds of ways. It shows up in gossip. It shows up in your negative attitude against other women who you know nothing about and who've done nothing to you and who are probably living the same types of experiences you are. It shows up. And it's like, how do you get out of that spiral of craziness? Because the truth is, and this is what I think happens, and this is what happened to me. I didn't want to be by myself. I always had a man. I have never not had a man. I can't even think of, I don't think I can think of an entire 12 months. Close. 10 months. But there hasn't been a full year that I've not had a man in my adult life. And the reason why, in retrospect, and now because of course I've done a lot of self-work and personal development, and I coach other women through these challenges, is it was easier to just do that thing, right? Because that was familiar. Didn't have to look myself in the mirror necessarily. Just keep on this crazy cycle of destruction. And I think that's where a lot of women are. So for myself, this project and this film that I'm going to be producing and directing is so powerfully important to women, not just moms, not just to women in general, because I believe that at the core, we need to feel better about ourselves, and not just feel better, but we need to truly love ourselves internally for everything that we are and for all the things that we're not. And I think we're spending so much time focusing on the things that we're not, and those perceived inadequacies, that it's overtaking the way that we make decisions. And then we land, in those different circumstances that I shared before. And at least that was my experience. So I'm being transparent. I always have been transparent. I think I'm getting more transparent, and this film is going to cause me to even be more so, because there's so many layers to us as women. There's so many layers to me. Not only as a businesswoman, as a mom, as a wife, as a friend, whatever, there's all these things that we experience, and life is still trucking along. The midnight still hits, the sun still comes up, if you're blessed enough. And you still gotta get up and go to work, or get up and go do whatever the thing it is that you're doing. So this really isn't a motivational video. I don't have a tip for you. This is an awareness. This is just an awareness that I'm making a declaration, that I'm making a public declaration that this is a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm going to lead the movement and have it. And if I have to be the face of it, then I'll be the face of it. And I hope that you will support it, and hashtag mommy or not. That is the name of the film. And let's have a deeper conversation. Stay tuned for more. My name is Aprille Franks Hunt. I want you to continue to be encouraged in your decisions, in your choices, and wherever you are today. Because even if it's not exactly where you want to be, it's where you should be. Because where you are right now is how you can be receptive to growing and becoming a better person, a more whole woman, so you can have all the things that you want, and you can be truly happy with your life. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support. Hashtag mommy or not. And subscribe to my channel, share it, and let's see what happens. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.